There we go. Let's not make the same mistake of forgetting to turn on our mic this time. Come on, Instagram. I know you can do it. Oh, Instagram. Come on. There we go. All right. Instagram is posted. We're all good there. Hey Sharon, happy Thursday and happy Easter to you too. I'm just finishing up my notification posts here. Okay, that one went okay. I think I'm gonna just move that down. I gotta keep my phone on today because I'm waiting. Make sure I don't miss a client call on a new concept art project. So that might cut the stream a little short, but I'm gonna go ahead and start. And I actually already have it mapped out, so yay! Finally, I actually come to stream prepared. So this Easter comic is a little bit of a play on the Peter Cottontail hopping down bunny lane. So I've got the floof with the leafy bunny ears. He's hipping and hopping with a little Easter egg, and they hip and hop off into the distance. And then we cut to Granny Bear and Boop, and they're walking along this road, and I have a couple of different dialogue progressions. I was thinking, originally I thought she was going to have a basket with her, and then you know, the ending joke was going to be like, "Ooh, this is nothing compared to our basket of Easter joy," something like that. But I'm thinking I'll change it to them hoping they'll find Bunny Lane, and then, you know, they hear a rumbling and like Hippity-Hoppy's coming, you know, from behind them, and Boop says, "Quick, get off the road," you know, and maybe that's a little Lord of the Rings. Get off the road. And then the floofs and the eggs come hipping and hopping over the hill, and I'm thinking I'll set on, "It looks like the bunny trail found us," or what a basket of Easter joy, or something like that. I think I'll probably the basket of Easter joy, and then I'll just mention the bunny trail here. I'll figure it out. Whoops. Really? There we go. The important thing is I know that they need to be talking, so I'll get the talking parts dropped in there, but there we go, 30%. All right, let's lock that, and let's get going here. So this also started out, actually, my original idea was kind of a parody on the Rapper Delight lyrics. But I was like, I don't know if I can get those. Okay, hold on a second here. Respond to this. always get these mixed up. I need to give directions. Hold on here. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream because my internet went out right before okay, so it is 8. Okay. Okay, so 1:30 it looks like. So that gives me plenty of time. All right. I need to get back to my, there's my, okay, here we go. Let me make sure OBS is still on top. I have not updated my OBS since 28.1 and it's now 30. They go up on versions in tenths, so it's now 30.5 or 6 or something. I don't think I've updated this in like 2 or 3 years. I always feel guilty because when OBS opens up, it gives me like this, please update, and I'm like, I don't want to do it because I'm always a mule when it comes to updating because I fear that I'll lose my settings or I'll lose my scenes or something will reset. And like Illustrator's a little bit like that too because I have to go through, a couple of times I've had to go through and reset my toolbars here, even though it should, you know, update and remember those toolbars, but they never do. And so, you know, the things that I'm just used to seeing and never have to set, I have to remember how to set, and it's just frustrating. Kleenex. Darn it. I don't have another box. I had another box. Oh, but I got one in my... All right. It's the little things. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, so that's good. So that means I've got about an hour. Okay, that's cool. I've got about an hour, and so we can get a lot done in an hour. Gosh, last time, I didn't realize this, but on Tuesday's stream, I was talking for like, and streaming for about 20 minutes before chat told me that my mic was not on. Like, oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Alright, so I need to do one thing. I need to move. There we go, much better. Oh, much better. There we go. Perfect. So I sometimes have it pointed at my feet, and then I sometimes have it pointed at me, depending on how toasty it is in here. It's kind of getting to the summertime toasties. So I have to have a little bit more. I might actually have to get out my secondary little desk fan here soon. All right, group it and center it. Now ungroup it. All right, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and drop this down too, so I can get these frames drawn in while I'm drawing the frames. Just confirm. There we go. All good. All good. I gotta leave at 1. It only took me about 15 minutes to get there. So let me go ahead and do an alarm. Let's do an alarm. Well, 45. Stop it. Okay. No. Alarm. 12:45. Okay. That will give me time to shut down and get things done. So I've seen ads for it, and this was a bold statement. Somebody said that King of Kings is better than Prince of Egypt. And I'm like, that is a bold statement, Cotton. So I'm excited to see it, but I want to temper my expectations because I love Prince of Egypt so much. I don't know. And it's in the theaters right now, so I'm not sure how Angel Studios does their stuff, but I guess it's kind of on an old standard release. So I guess it'll probably come to streaming and regular rentals a little bit after Easter. I don't know if I love movies, and I just, going to the theater, I'm just like, it's gotta be like, it's gotta be something that just, I have to see it in the theater. Kind of like Maverick. Maverick was one that I'm so happy that I got to see in the theater, because that was an experience. And you got, oh, for Pete's sake, can you draw a corner? What is going on? Are these corners just not close enough? Is that what this is? There. Good grief. There we go. Much better. So yeah, I'm like, well, do I want to go or do I want to wait? But then if I wait and I figure, you know, and I hear that you should have seen it in the theater, I'm going to be bummed. It takes a lot to get me to the theater. So maybe I guess I'll just wait. I don't know. That's a very bold statement. Yes. It is a bold statement. But have you seen the cast list? They have some big names on that. I'm like, oof. Oof. All right, so our frames are finally done. And there we go. All right. Yeah, because I went back and I watched Prince of Egypt. I think it was like last weekend, like last Friday or something. And I had forgotten how many big names were in that one too. Because like Patrick Stewart was Seti, and Helen Mirren was the mother, and of course there's Sandra Bullock and what's his face, Jeff Goldblum, and I forgot Danny Glover was Jethro. I was like, God, this movie was stacked full of people. Hey Bacon, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Okay, how many can I get drawn here? I should definitely be able to get this drawn and maybe part of this. So let's just get moving here. I was struggling to wake up this morning, so I overdid it on caffeine, and now I'm like hopped up on all the caffeine. Good movie. Yes. How's the animation stuff been going? Going pretty well. So I got back to, I didn't fix. I figured out I was being dumb, and I had knocked the opacity of my brush down to 0. So that's why it wasn't working. It wasn't the program broken, it was me. So I figured that out. After rebooting my iPad and going into full troubleshoot mode, I actually was like, oh yeah. And then I went back and I looked at the VOD, and you can see the little opacity thing go up and down as I switch from brushes, and I'm just like, oh, that's painful. So beside that, all is well. I thought I had an emergency that I needed to go and learn another program. I am considering OpenTunes though, because apparently that is it's a piece, not a PC based, but a regular desktop based program, not app only and iPad only. And I'm curious how and if I can animate faster with this interface, and having it bigger, of course, but also just having my usual setup here. Because it is different, drawing on the iPad. I'm still good with it, but this is where I'm at ultimately the fastest. So and plus it's free. I want to give these ears some expression. Because he's like, ooh, what are you? Use your air, gotta love it. Yes, yes. I feel like I have to have like a. I don't know if you're familiar with Beat Bobby Flay, but it's a cooking show, and he like is over dependent on his crispy rice, so he's always adding it in to kind of win the game. And so they made him a crispy rice neon sign, so whenever he does it, they drop it down. And I feel like user error signs need to drop down whenever that happens. That would be a good overlay to add to my stream. I do too, but it happens so infrequently. And you can kind of tell, sometimes you can really kind of tell, because they, you know, and he risks it for the biscuit, and I think it usually works out for him, because he'll, you know, be, he'll have a dish that maybe he's not that familiar with, and so he'll be like, okay, well, let me just throw these things together, and they'll be up against, you know, this traditional, perfectly prepared, you know, as it should be type dish, and then it's kind of frustrating when those happen. But my mom is kind of bitter. She's like, he never loses. I'm like, yes, he does. He's lost a few times. I just tried to do drawing on the Cintiq in Photoshop. Got so annoyed because I was not used to drawing on Photoshop. They just pulled out the iPad. Yeah, I hear you. Last stream, I wasn't completely locked in yet, and so I had drawn something. I was like, okay, I need to undo that. And I immediately went to my keyboard and was hitting Control Z, and I was like, why isn't this working? Why isn't it undoing? It's like, you're on the iPad, dear. Doesn't work that way. I used to but I still kind of have a little bit of not bitterness, but just dislike of Bobby Flay because of way back, kind of when he was first starting out. He was on, I guess first starting out, I don't know, it was in the early 2000s, I believe, when he showed up on Iron Chef against Morimoto, and they did this battle in New York, and he stood up on the cutting board on the countertop, which is, you know, if you're familiar with Japanese I wouldn't call it superstitions, but yeah, it's like the rudest thing you could possibly do is put your feet on a table where, you know, people dine and prepare food. And so he stood up on the, you know, cutting board and was like cheering, and Morimoto was so insulted, and it kind of started this little rivalry. And I was just like, oh, he's such, you know, arrogant little turd. But yeah, so that was where my dislike of Bobby Flay began, but in retrospect, it's kind of funny. I'd rather draw in Illustrator. Yeah. Good. I remember that battle. That made me dislike him very yep. Yes, exactly. I miss the old Iron Chef. I miss Fukui-san. The old original OG Iron Chefs were so good. Okay, I need to make this easier on myself. We're just gonna do a basic bee egg here. There we go. That didn't make it easier on myself. Let's make 5 partitions on an egg that I have to color separately. Let's just do 3. That's better. All right. Oh, wait, let's leave that one in front. Let's put that one in back. Oh, now he looks like he has fawn legs. Oh, maybe I need to bring his knees up a little bit. That's better. That looks like a hop. I've watched a number of them on YouTube and places like Pluto, and I think Freebie have Iron Chef channels. Oh, okay. I am going to investigate and see. I'm pretty sure I have Freebie. I'm pretty sure I have Freebie. I miss the original, oh, what's his name? Chairman Kaga? I always watch for in the intro where he almost like loses it on the on taking the bite from the pepper, because you can see it if you watch really close. He's like he almost wants to spit it out, or he's laughing or something. It's so good. All right, now the good thing about this is that I have this ground drawn, so all I have to do is copy it over and edit my floof and edit my eggy. And we'll have a second panel drawn. So do split. All right. I'm gonna move that over there like this. I'm gonna change Aggies. I'm gonna group Aggie. I'm gonna change his footers. Ah! Put page down, I guess, instead of delete. Alright, now let's make sure I have this floof grouped so I can accurately grab the right pieces. Alright, let's group and let's drop this down, or rather translate over the size. There we go. So he needs to be jumping like that. I think those two streaming services also let you watch IC on demand. Ooh! They don't have every single episode, but I think they have pretty much everything that got translated. Oh. I think at one point in time I had them, well, I guess when they originally came over, was it on Food Network? I'm trying to remember what channel that was on. Because I believe I recorded like a ton of them. I caught it on a it was a Iron Chef marathon. Darn it, where did I see that? I swear I had it on tape. On tape. Whew. Dee, hello! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I just assume it first aired in English on Food Network. It's where I first saw it. Yeah, I think you're right. Because they brought over, it was kind of like a classic dub over. I want to say it was like 98, 99, somewhere around that. Oh, I almost missed today's live stream because my internet decided, knock on wood, it decided to break right before I booted up. I was like, oh, good. And then the outage map was telling me that we'll have it fixed by after 1. But they actually had it fixed quite quickly, so I was like, better get on while I can. Aired on some channels with subtitles, but the English dubbing appears to be Food Network starting in 99. Yeah, that's what I thought. They were so good. Maybe I should move this ear over here. Go. I need some detail. There we go. Right, save! Off topic, just finished writing the Texas Gran Fondo this past weekend. Was a bunch of fun. Can't wait to write it next year. Makes me appreciate the outdoors more, especially sketching outside. Yes. it's just, there's something, you know, even if you're, you know, just taking a break from digital and going traditional, even if you're still inside, it's just something, just, I don't know, it's nice to not have that undo, to have to figure out how to deal with any, you know, mistakes or errors you make in ink, and or, you know, things that you just have to work your way around. You don't have to do it in here. But I don't know, I just always liked it. It's certainly, it's almost, oh God, we're almost in May. It's gonna be May. I gotta do something fun with that one. Wait, when is May? Let me see. It is not next week, but the following week, this Thursday. So Wednesday, I could do some sort of a meme, maybe. I need to float him above the ground, and I probably need to make him smaller. And then the ears need to flow behind. Yeah, that doesn't look good. That'd be funny having a meme post to save a month, 2 weeks. Oh, that's better. Eggy needs to be a little thin. There we go. There we go. Eggy needs to be a little longer. There we go. Oh. Okay, so This is a super duper sneak peek, like super duper. And I don't know if the production on these hinges on the tariff situation and what, because right now, well, last time I asked my, oops, wrong. Last time I asked my manufacturer, she said that with the tariffs, it was still okay, but I think probably all of that is gonna hopefully iron out in the next couple of weeks. But if it does, this, make this window smaller, please. Oh, that's not the right picture. I want this picture. This is far cuter. There we go. Alright, how do I... we need to grab this window. No! Stop it! There we go. Alright. Oh! Seriously. There we go. Smaller. They nailed the strawberry so well. This is like my sketch. She's so cute. I just got those last night. Okay. So hopefully, I'm gonna see what the situation is. Hopefully it'll resolve into something reasonable. Although I just saw that Temu kind of imploded like yesterday and removed all of their ads off of Google, which I'm kind of not mad about because, I mean, it was rife with stolen IP and everything. So I'm kind of not mad that Temu has taken a hit, but how do I make... Oh, wait, do I want to do like that? That looks more like a good... Oops, that's a little bit long. That's a more fawn leg. There we go. That'll work. And let's... There we go. It's a little bit big on the grass pieces there. Also waiting, another thing that plushie hinges on, which is a little bit more hopeful at this point in time, is so for San Diego Comic-Con, there was a little, well, there still is a little snafu with the booth. We tried to petition for a bigger booth and also a better placement because we've been back against the wall and very hard to find, even though we had a nice corner. I mean, if you walked along the back of the wall, you could possibly find us, but you know, for years, it seems like every year people are like, oh my God, is this your first year here? why have I never seen you before? I'm like, yeah, no, we've been here since 2008. Kind of hard to find every year, but so we petitioned to get a little bit of a better location. And there was a misunderstanding, even though what I put on the form was crystal clear. I understand though, because you're going like through hundreds of applications and stuff, so I understand. But they interpreted that as we want to be smaller, and so they stuck us in. So like here, well, hold on a second. So let's see, these are main traffic aisles, and then booths are like here, like this, and this is where people are. So what they did was they stuck us in the middle of a bunch of they stuck us like right here in the middle of massive mega booths with no frontage, only this cut through aisle that nobody could see. And I'm just like, no. That's not good. That is not good. Because we had that one year. This was Sony. And they had literally like a 20-foot wall was one of our walls. And then we had another thing over here. I forget who they were, but they had all of these plants. They had like built out all of this plant stuff in kind of a jungle scape. And I was right here. And you could not see me standing here. You could only see the booth if you were walking right at it on this rando aisle in the middle of 2 mega booths. So I saw that and I was like, oh God, not again. So we've been trying to get them to address that problem, because not only did they take the corner that we had away, they did that. So we've been trying to, and we haven't gotten their attention because WonderCon has been the primary, focus. So now that they're back working on San Diego stuff, we had a really good call yesterday, and hopefully that will be resolved in the next few days, because if that's not changed, first of all, the booth won't fit. And second of all, I know what that means. I know that means, because that of all of the years was the absolute worst in terms of sales, because nobody could find us. And we had a wall here and a wall and bushes over here, and it just was not easy. And so that was the lowest sale year, and San Diego Comic-Con already is incredibly expensive to go to. And so we really, really need that, that corner booth, that frontage, that visibility to get sales in, to kind of recoup even going to the show. And so yeah, that happened, and hopefully we'll get some good resolution on that this week. And if we do, I can say, okay, let's now consider and see what the shipping situation is, and see if that is even plausible. Because one thing I don't want to do is, I don't really, if I have to raise the prices on the plushies like $5, I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe booth pricing will no longer be 20, maybe booth pricing will be 25, and I just, those things happen. I'm okay with that, but I can't, I don't like raising prices. And it really struggled with it on my books too, but there's no way I could do it. I can't produce my books unless I am even going like 500 to 1,000 pieces deep. I'm still sitting at like $5-6 a piece. And I mean, and my original pricing was, I was at, 6 to 7 a piece when I had them priced at 15. And now they're like 10, 11, 12 per piece. And so I had to bring it up to 20 at the base so I could even wholesale. And it just, yeah. So anyway, hopefully, fingers crossed, that will be good news to in the next few days. All right, that's those 3 done. Yes, box lunch is going to, our first pin drop is going to be in probably the end of May. The ship date is the 12th, and I talked to them. It's like they can't really say which, they don't really know which stores will get them, but generally a couple of weeks after that ship date. So like the end of May is like a safe time, and I'm going to coordinate with them on social media stuff. But the end of May, you should be hopefully able to find them in store. It's the, I don't have them right here. The first one is Pug Life pin, and then there's a You Can Do This, or you Got This, with coconut and a floof and a heart. So that's the first, and there's another pin drop in July, and then I'm working on a plush prototype for coconut holding a plant, like a succulent plant. So that's gonna, hopefully, if the pins do well, that will be what's next. But so those orders are done. That's all happening, and I talked to them a little bit too. My inference is that like the top stores are going to get them, and I'm hoping that, so here in Houston, we've got, I think, 3. There's Katy Mills, Willowbrook, I think Willowbrook, and I know the Galleria. So there's at least 2 I personally have seen myself, Galleria and Katy. I have not seen the Willowbrook location, but this is like the 3rd largest city. I hazard a guess that either the Galleria or Katy will get them. So those are the places I'm going to go start looking. But that would be just incredibly exciting to see them in store. So that's exciting. But as soon as I do see them, I will post about it and do a reel and post that. I'm hoping, because she said like the testing phase is kind of a select their top performing stores, and there's no more specifics than that, because I guess who I deal with at Box Lunch is just kind of the production sourcing department, and they don't have a lot of control out of with the distribution part of it. I get the idea that's a separate department and set of people that take in these products and decide, okay, this is going to go here, here, and here. So they communicate because they're like under the same roof, but they don't really have a lot of information to share as to where this item is going to these 1, 2, 3 stores. So, but yeah. Oh, yay! I hope they're there. Please let me know if they're there. But yeah, at the end of May is when it should be dropping. And hold on, I think let me go grab them because I got samples. Okay, these are the first 2. That is Pug Life with Pudge with glasses and a bow tie. And then the You Got This sticker, you can't really see it. It's floof and coconut and the heart and the sign. They are soft enamel. So, and then the card is a little bit taller. But that's how it'll be. And I know that they have a I'm trying to remember that there is like a, in the last one I went to, I believe it was the new Katy location, they had like this, was it a turnstile? It was like a rotating display, and they had, no, I don't think it was. I'm I'm trying to remember, but it kind of had like all the pins in one place, kind of in a vertical display where you could look through them. But yeah, those are the ones that are dropping. Super excited about it. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, we literally just surpassed. I think they just said, or announced rather, that Houston was the third, like, because we've been kind of bouncing up and down with Chicago 3 and 4, but I think Houston secured number 3 largest city. One of our stores has to get that. One of them has to be one of the top performing stores. And actually, interesting note on that, my sister told me that the Target on San Felipe in the Galleria, that's actually one of their top performing Targets in the nation. And so they do a lot of field testing there. They'll like do new set pieces or new, not set pieces, but yeah, floor pieces and stuff like that. They'll test all of these new things that they're considering going nationwide with at that store. And so like the new Ulta concept and well, not new anymore, but that concept where they had updated the floor, they rolled out more of the fashion section. They have all of those different collaboration I just call them set pieces that they do. Like I think right now they're doing Kate Spade, and they did a Blogilates. They've done collabs with several different big brands. So they test those out there, because in the nation that is one of the best stores, and as far as the profits they get from it, which is really interesting to me. I was like, oh yeah, I can understand that, and that's why it always looked a little different to me, because you'd go in there and some things would not look like your normal Target. I don't know if that's still the same. She told me that a couple years ago, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool and interesting. Your ears are kind of big, Miss Boop. Or sorry, Granny Bear. All right, let me finish this. There we go. And then, of course, I'm going to have Miss Boob over here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream there. I've got to get ready for that. It's where I feel like Lunchbox is the place to explore and get awesome merch that deals. Yes, absolutely. I was so excited, and you know, the buyer that contacted me, she's actually been a fan for quite a few years, and she was at Hot Topic previously and then was moved over to Box Lunch, and she was like, you know, she wanted to approach earlier, but she was like, Hot Topic's kind of not quite a good fit yet. And so but yeah, no, that was really, really cool. And it's just kind of, I mean, that happened at last year's San Diego, so we met her and then kind of got that ball rolling on that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and log off here, and I will be back on Tuesday with more animation stuff. Let me go ahead and go over to my ending screen. This will be my comic for tomorrow, so if you want to see how this ends up, you can check out my any of the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok gets them now too. I post all the new oh god, I forgot to post Tuesday's comic on TikTok, so I need to do that. I've got to post Tuesday's darn topic there. But yeah, so all of the main socials get the new posts, and then of course always on my website they get updated there as well. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Always wonderful to have your company and chat, and I hope you have a good rest of your Thursday, a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter if you're celebrating, and I will see you next time.